What did you do today?
Oh, today is nothing news. There's a working in the normal day, like a normal day.
Mhm. Okay, very nice. And okay, tomorrow, or are you preparing for the weekend? What are you going to do on the weekend?
Uh, I think we prepare for some games, football games for the weekends. Yes, in as my I think we will play with my college.
Hmm.
Yes.
Oh,
Uh,
very nice. And before we start, I just want to ask you for one favor, if it is possible, because I need to. You know what that both of us we have little babies. Okay, and I just want to ask you before I need to. On Sunday, I need to go to see a doctor with my son because he has some little
mhm.
problems with speaking, and we have
Yeah.
an appointment in our time. Can we, for example, on Saturday, can we move our class on Saturday? Is it okay to move? I will tell your time. This is 8 p.m. to 9 p.m.
It's to 9 p.m. Vietnamese time, right?
Yeah,
Vietnam
just
time.
yes, just to double check. Just sorry, I just want to
Uh,
double check. Yes, 9 p.m. Just let me see. Yes, 9 p.m. your time. Can we move that?
9 to 10.
Nine to 10. Yes,
Yes. Okay. Okay. Okay.
on Saturday. Can we just
Mm-hmm.
move because we have an appointment? Little boy, he needs to practice because he has an operation. Uh,
Crucials.
yes, he has an operation of half a year ago, and he needs now he needs to practice speaking, and we are going to see a doctor that he and I want to attend this meeting. And
Mm-hmm.
okay, and it's really hard in my country. It's really hard to make this appointment, and this is the reason why I asked you
Mm-hmm.
about
Yeah.
this
Just
period of time. This is something like, just to see. This is, or we can, yes, or we can go, or 8 p.m. 8 p.m. is 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Is this suits you better, maybe?
I think you can choose what's better for you because I
Okay,
am
okay.
free
Let's
on.
let's let, let's start on Saturday and 8 p.m. 8 p.m. to
Mm-hmm.
9 p.m. because
Mm-hmm.
I have one session from 7 to 8 with one little boy
Yes,
from
I
Vietnam, and
agree.
after the okay, great. Thank you
Mm-hmm.
so
Yes.
much. I don't know
Yes.
how to say thank you in your language, but thank you. So, thank you so much. That means a lot to
Yes.
me. Okay,
Yes.
so and it's better because in on Sunday you will not have class that is late and everything else, and you will have time maybe to spend with your family. Thank you so
Yes.
much one more time. I
Yes.
really appreciate this.
And can you tell me again what happened with your son?
He has operation. I don't know what is the name of this. This is
It.
inside. Was And they need to shoot him inside.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Inside,
In.
they need to sue him because he was born like this, and he has an operation, and now he needs to some
He has.
letters
He
some
has to
let
speak.
mhm. Some letters he cannot say because
Mm-hmm.
of this
Mm-hmm.
surgeon, and now
Yes.
he
Yes.
needs to
Yes.
practice with the doctor. He
Mm-hmm.
can practice with us, but everything is fine. Everything is
Mm-hmm.
perfect with him. He's a healthy
Yes.
boy and everything else.
Yeah.
He looks really strong and everything else. He is really really fantastic. Okay, and this is something that we are trying to now we will have some letters. He's saying some letters without any problems, but when he needs to use a mouth
Mm-hmm.
from back,
Mm-hmm.
he cannot say these letters because of
Yeah.
this procedure.
Yeah.
But this is in time. He will practice and everything will be fine. So
Mm-hmm. I understand.
so thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Because
Yes.
I can tell you that yesterday I have to off of working in office because my
Mhm,
son the problem too. He
mhm,
have
um,
sick. He got sick.
mhm,
I I guess that's COVID, but really lucky is not. He's just sick in like a normal. So today is better. So I really happy when my son is better. I think you choose. You always want the best thing for your son, right? So you want to attend in the meeting with the doctors to check up.
Yes, just want to check out because okay, my wife told me that she will go with him, but no, I will not be feel comfortable if I don't go. So I will stay and have sessions with you, and I will waiting for them, and this is something that annoys me. So yes, I want to be present in this when they speak about this, because this is something that is for me, it's really important.
Yeah.
And your son, you're mentioning about your son, is it COVID? Is it something, is everything okay?
Just sick.
Just sick.
Not COVID, yeah.
Okay, but babies get sick. Okay, and I just want to ask you, because I don't know if this is a part of your culture. Can you please tell me, do you take your boy to a kindergarten? It's a little bit.
School?
Yes, in the
Schools
kindergarten. Yes.
for baby.
Yes.
Yes, but I think it's after 2 year old.
After, because in my country, we take them when they, for example, have 1.5 years, they go to the kindergarten or school for little babies. And now, because of this thing about pandemic, we don't take them. We don't take them because it's a little bit not safe, because
Yes, it's the same. The same
in
Vietnam.
yes, it's in the kindergarten. They have stomach flu, also not just COVID and everything else. They have a stomach flu, and it's not safe. And they suggest to us that we don't bring them, if we can, don't bring them to school, to kindergarten, school for babies. So we usually now he is on countryside with wife's parents, and they look after of him, because he cannot stay. Wife is working, me, I also work, and he cannot be with us, because my wife, she needs to go to work. So it's a little bit complicated, but we are managing to do everything. So
yeah.
it's a little bit rush hour for us.
I feel really lucky because I live with my parents. So my parents take care of my son for me. So me and my wife can work like normally. Yeah.
Okay. This is we also have this is for example, in our country, it's a problem, because you need to if you want to go and retire on your retirement, you need to be 65 or 70, and this is the pretty much big problem here. Okay, and now wife's mother, she has 1 or 2 years to until she is retirement, but she is with a little boy. So I can say this is something that is common in my country, let's say like this. So, and this is the reason we spoke about on our previous session. We spoke when you mentioned it about your culture, that you when you have, for example, 27, 28, 29 years, everything expect from you that you have a baby. Is that right?
Yeah.
And my country, it's completely different, because we need to organize everything. Okay, if you want to do this. Okay, so now let's see. Okay, I will share my screen. Okay, this material is really fantastic. I saw some of this material here. Now we have here, we were speaking about negotiation and management. Now, can you please tell me something more about this in your country, in your company, about negotiation?
Between
In your country, when we compare, for example, your country and my country, so in your company, do you have a negotiation when you, for example, first time when you arrived to your company, do you negotiate about salary, about this?
yes, because I want to ask the negotiations between me and my company or between me and customer. So if you want to ask about negotiation about when between me and company, yes, of course, with negotiations about salaries, the time to work, and uh, roles in the work, what we do in that work, and and what's the process of developments in this job. Yes, a lot of things have to clear in the first time with the new company.
Okay, and how often do you negotiate? For example, if you have an opportunity, how often do you go to negotiate with for example, with your company? Do you negotiate and every 6 months? For example, I have a friends that they are in the IT sector. After every 6 months, they negotiate about their salary. If they are hard workers, they can negotiate. How about in your country? Can you share some details?
Yeah, in my company, in the company I work for, is often in try per year. It's the same 6 months, but the first the first time is just talk about what I want to improve in my work, and my boss reviews what I work in the last years. And the second times we negotiation more about the salary and what I want to improve is my how many I want to increase. So we talk it with my boss, and he receive it and give me the replies on email. Approves or approve or pass depends on what I worked in the last years.
Okay, and we have here about raise. In what period of time, for example, do you expect a raise on your salary?
Often is 1 year. I think often is 1 year. I I want go off my salaries once per year.
Once per year.
Yes.
And okay, and for example, this is just an example. I just want to ask you about this. Do you negotiate, for example, a lot of people, okay, they have on some internet websites like LinkedIn or something like this, they have their profiles, and some companies want to attract them, for example, to work for them. So, for example, I didn't know about your culture, but is it possible? For example, this is just an example that you come to your company and say, okay, this company, some other company, name blah blah blah, offer me more money for this position. Do you have something like this in your company that, for example, I
I
work?
think yes. I think it's not depend on the cultures because every country have it, and in my country too. I think it's depend on the ethic of uh, ethic of each people.
Okay.
Mm, I,
Okay.
I know it, but I don't want to do it.
And
I
why?
don't want
Okay, let's try. Why? Why you don't want to do it?
I don't want to ask my boss that that companies give me higher salary because I have to see myself what I do for the company I work for, and it does the salaries is equal with what I do. So I just compare two of this, two kinds of it, not compare with outside.
Okay, and for example, if you have something like offer from another company, what would you do in that situation? If you have offer, for example, to work in another company, so what would you do in this particular situation?
Actually, right now, the company I work for is really nice with me. So if other company give me higher offer, I actually have a consider, and I think I will clarify and qualify them before tells with my boss. But I think I don't tell about the salary.
Okay, now and I ask you about a raise. Okay, so the next topic that I want to ask you, it's about bonus. Okay, so do you get bonus, for example, in my country?
Yes.
Okay, when
Yes.
do you usually get bonuses?
Uh, we off because the tires my company is like project and project. So if you complete a project, you will have a bonus. And the culture of Vietnam, we have a holiday in the end of year. That was called Tết. That is Tết holiday. So in this time, employees will have more money, and that's what called bonus. And I think it's uh, the 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 13th month salary, the salary for 13 months.
Okay, this is like extra bonus that
Like
this is
like
like.
a 1 month salary bonus.
Okay, and for what? Okay, this is maybe if it is a too much personal question. Okay, so what for example, in my country we have a custom that we buy gifts because it is the end of the year to our loved ones. So can you please tell me something more about your culture? What do you do, for example, when you when you receive this amount of money? What do you do, for example? Do you buy gifts or what do you do?
What do I do with that money?
No, in your country, what do you usually do? For example, in my country, we buy Christmas gifts. We buy, for example, we buy gifts for a new year to our loved ones with this money, or we arrange, for example, travel somewhere. Okay,
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
what do you usually do?
I don't know why, but I think that's the part of cultures in Vietnam. When people have some money, they want to save it, and yes, they want to save it to prepare for some uh, risk in the future. Maybe they want to keep it to buy assets, like they want to save it to buy properties, buy a cars and build a house. So I think they save it more than use it to travel or use it to buy some products or some goods. I think that is the different or the special culture in Vietnam. They want to
Okay.
save more.
Save more. Just to be safe, to have, for example, extra money to have. I understand. Okay, this is also good. This is also good. I just exchange something that maybe I will do something. Okay, I'm saving, for example, during the year of every salary that I put a little bit on the side. I don't want to spend it, and to create my little bank account. So this is something that I'm doing. Okay, so I like to do that also, but I'm doing this practically during the whole year. And when I receive some bonus like that, I like to buy something to my loved ones, something like that.
Yes, of course. But of course, we will separate it to some pockets. There's a bit to buy some favorites, toys or game like something like that. But almost of that we will use to save.
Okay. Now we have here an organization that represents employees. Okay, so do you have organization that represents employees, for example, in your company?
To represent employees and organizations represents. Oh, can you explain for me what does this mean? Represents.
Okay, so for example, you're working in a company right now, and you have, for example, someone who represents you. Okay, so if you have, for example, if you have some kind of problem that bothers you, or for example, a lot of people who has the same problem, they don't go, for example, one by one to speak about this problem. They have an organization, they have, for example, man or a woman who represents them and talk about this problem. So do you have something like this? This is like a union in a company, and they spoke about some internal problems. For example, when someone has a problem, okay, for example, 5 or 6 people has some problem. Okay, and they don't go one by one to tell for example, to the owner, to the director of the company, to the CEO. They don't go one by one. They have one man who represent all of them, and okay, me and my co-workers, we have a similar problem, and they tell that to CEO, they tell that to director and everything else. So do you have, for example, in your company, do you have someone who represents you and other workers when they want to speak with the boss about some problems that?
Yes. I understand it. Actually, it depend on the type of company, because some private company don't have this kind of organization. Some, this is my baby. She.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
I think in my company, have it too. One or two guys represents all employees to make sure that the benefits for employee is better.
Okay.
Yes.
And why do you think so? Can you please tell me why do you have this opinion?
I think the opinions of represent. I think they, in my company, I think they also in the side of the boss.
Okay, and how would you, for example, manage some problems that you maybe have? For example, just one moment. If you have problems, for example, with someone in your company, how would you solve some problems? What would you do to solve some problems?
When I get problem, I often tell it directly with my team leader, and then I will tell it with human resources manager. It's my company.
Okay. And why? Why would you do something like this? Why?
Because my team leader is have responsibles directly with me, and HR departments controls about what's happened in companies, not like business. There's something normal in company happens. So I tell with them in other HR department and team
Okay.
leader.
And how about you? Would you like to be a team leader?
Yes, I want to become a team leader to because I prepare to become a project manager. So I think that's either team leader role too, the same project managers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now let's have a look. Okay. I want to ask you, can you please tell me, uh, let's say like this. I want to ask you about one question. Why do you think you will be a good leader? Why?
Mm, I think to become a good leader, I need to have a lot of skill. So I need to become a good leader because in when we do is good, we can make everything smoothly. The projects is go to the ends smoothly, and you can complete any problem in the project. You can negotiations with teams, with stakeholders, with customers. So to become a good leader, that is very important.
Okay, so this is something that is really important. Okay, now and what qualities, for example, do you have to be a good leader? What are some qualities that you have to be a good leader? Can you please tell me? What do you think?
Mm, is my company in the company I work for. Mm, our boss build the table to describe what's the point to become a PM or project managers or good leader. So a lot of that's either soft skill and knowledge about the products, but most of them it is soft skill like how to present and what good you do when present and what you can how you can control the rate, how you can control the teams and how you can control the team member and how you can talk with the customer. So a lot of role.
Okay, a lot of roles. Very nice. Okay, and what is, for example, your future role? What role would you like, for example, would you like to have in your company? Next role that you would like to have in your company?
Mm, yeah, I think I will want my company is a small. Just I think there's in this company just have 80 employees. So I think I want to become a project manager.
Okay, and why? Why do you want to do that?
Yes, because it's higher salaries and I can have more opportunities to improve my skills, and I can learn a lot in that roles, and not have too much details tasks I have to do because I will assign to other people.
Okay, now we have here the people who run a company. Okay, how many people, for example, run a company, your company?
Just 4 or 5.
Okay, and what do you think about this? For example, are you capable, for example, to run a company? For example, someday when you get more experience, when you, for example, get more knowledge, what do you think about this, that you're running your own company?
Yes, I I always think about is what I do when I run this companies. I think I will hire a lot of good people to do it with me too, because I can't do it by myself. So I think I will hire a guy to control the finance. I will hire the guy to control the human resources, and hire the guy to control about the business. So I think I want to control over and cast the key member to control that company.
And why do you want to do that? Why is that? What do you think? Why do you think? Why is that so important?
Because I think if I want to have a lot of free time and lazy on the work, I have to hire people to do it.
Okay, now we have here speaking. Make suggestions for the situations below to your teacher. Try to make your more than one suggestion. Okay, now can you please read the number 1?
You and your colleagues cannot use
you and your colleagues. You and your colleagues.
you and your colleagues cannot use the rooms that is reserved for meetings. Your office is free.
So, what would you do in this situation? Would you like to go to your office? What is something that you would like to do?
I will choose other place. Maybe go to the coffee shop near the company.
And why?
Because I think someone's book the room, so they need that. So before I think before I go to the coffee shop, I will check it to HR department to make sure that have someone reserve it.
Okay. And number 2, can you please read number 2?
Yeah, you are in a meeting that has been going on for 3 hours. You can see that people need a break.
So, what do you think about this? What would you do? For example, that you have a meeting for 3 hours and people need to break. So what would you do in this situation?
I think I will raise my hands to tell us we need a break. To suggest to represent to presenter to tell them we need a break.
Okay, and breaks, for example, in your office. Okay, how long do they take? how long do you have a break? 1 hour, half an hour? How long are your breaks, for example, in your office?
1.5 hour, from 12 to 1 p.m. 1:30 p.m. Yes, enough to take a lunch and take a snap.
Okay, very nice. Now we have here word question sentence number 3. Okay, can you please read sentence number 3?
Your company needs an interpreter for dinner.
Interpreter for dinner.
For dinner with a VIP guest from your country.
So, for example, if you have, for example, someone who is VIP,
what does this mean? Of interpreter?
Okay, someone who will, for example, run the show. For example, you have all the guests, and someone who will say, welcome to, for example, to our event. I'll represent the company. Okay, so this is interpreter, someone who is speaking in front of audience, and he is interpreter.
Like MC?
Yes, something like this. Yes. So can you see yourself, for example, in that role? Can you see yourself in this role that you are interpreter?
Can you repeat it?
Can you see yourself that you are that person, for example, that you are interpreter, that you are saying welcome to our?
Yes, I think I rarely do it, so I think it's hard for me. But I think if I in these positions, I will try my best. I think I will. It's hard for me, but I try.
Okay, and why? Can you please tell me why? Why, for example, do you think this is hard for you?
Because when I tell some things, but don't have any preparations, is maybe I feel some not common and not confident. I feel something not nervous.
And why do you think so?
Because I scared if I cannot do it good. People will smile and I feel same.
Okay, very nice. And I want to ask you about other companies. For example, could you be an interpreter in other companies? For example, to go to other company and to say something about your company. Can you? What do you think about this?
I think yes. I will show the history of my company, and I will introduce the boss of my company and introduce the products of my company. Yeah, and then I think the very first I have to introduce myself, and I will introduce the cultures of my company, and I think the most important thing when talk with other company that it shows what thing my company can work good, can work well, and show to them.
Okay, very nice. Now let's see. Okay, something more here. Just one moment. Now, okay, we have here point number 4. Can you please read point number 4?
Yes. A college has
Colleague,
to
colleague,
be
colleague.
college. A colleague had to get to the airport to fly home, but there are no taxis or public transport at the moment.
So what would you do?
I will book a cab for him. I book a Uber for him.
What is that? Can you please tell me?
Book Uber. That's a taxi.
Taxi.
But yes, taxi on the phone you can book it. Uber or Grab. That's
Okay.
popular in my country.
Okay, very nice. And do you consider, for example, option that you are taking him to the airport? You drive to the airport.
Oh, if not too far.
Okay. And now we have here number 5. Can you please read number 5?
A meeting has come to the point where your knowledge is needed. Come to the point.
So when your knowledge is needed, for example, when everybody is expecting you, okay, that you need to do something. So did you ever had this kind of situation when your knowledge is needed here?
Yes, I think I ready to share what I know, and I will try my best to have my college.
Okay, very nice. Okay, and for example, did you ever had this kind of situation that everyone are looking at you and they are expecting that you need to say something to them?
Yes, sometimes, but I have a experience, and I think in this time you just say thank you. Thank you for someone, and thank you for what you can receive. That's the good ways.
Okay, so thank you. Okay, and for example, did you ever expect from someone to say something that you're expecting for someone to say something about some situation? Did you ever had this thing that you are waiting for someone to say something to you? Did you ever had this, for example, this kind of situation? Yes, I asked you. Did you ever had this situation, for example, that you have someone, for example, is waiting, for example, you are waiting for someone someone needs to tell something, that everybody is looking on someone who is who needs to say something, or everybody are just waiting for him or her to say.
Yes, I have in some case like that. Because in the company I work for, often choose or 3 months have a free talk, so it's what called open talk, and every employees stay in the rooms, in the big room, and ask the questions for the boss, and the boss will answer every question from employees. So in this case, employees like me can stand up and everybody look at me and I ask the questions and then our boss answer it. So we respond the reply from them.
Okay, very nice. This is something that I just want to hear, because I can say this is how we can develop your speaking more. Now let's have a look. Okay, so we have here hint. Okay, now be careful about salary. Okay, now can you please read this part for me?
Hint: be careful with salary, wages, and pay. Salary: the fixed amount of money you get every month. Wage: usually not a fixed amount of money is paid by hour. Pay: a general word for the money you get for your work.
For your work. Okay, now we have here a listening. Again, complete the sentences with the words used for making offers and suggestions. Now, okay, I just want to ask you, for example, okay, so we have here this, dear Nikos. Okay, can you please read this
Yes.
mail for me?
Dear Nisco,
Nikos.
excuse this email. I don't know if you remember me. We meet at the meeting in Seoul last month. I'm coming to visit your country soon. For the first time, it will be a short holiday, just for 10 days. Could you suggest what to see or do? Thank you very much for your help.
Okay, now let's now. How would you write an email? Holiday in your country, for example. How would you write your email, for example, to someone if you want to see some other country? So how would you make an email to someone?
Mm, mm, I think it's the same. Make the subjects clear and talk what I want to do in that emails with the structures. The 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 first have to dear someone's and in the means of emails tell about what I want and say thank yous in the end of email.
Okay, now let's have a look. Okay, now and for example, if you okay, this is for example, this is an email. I'm coming to visit your country. Okay, so how would you wrote an email when you want, for example, to write to someone who is your, for example, who is your boss? How would you write an email to your boss? What would you do?
I think I will, for example, I want to increase my salary. I will I will say that, dears, my boss, I I love you so much, and uh, my I think in the all of years, in all of last years, I tried my best and I complete a lot of projects, and but my sons lives in house always feel hungry, so can you increase a bit of salary for me? Thank you. Thank you. See
Thank you.
you your responsible reply.
Okay, so this is how you can write your email to your boss. Okay, now let's see. We have here this. Okay, now and if you, for example, okay, this is your boss, and how do you write an email to your clients? Okay, for example, how would you, for example, wrote an email to your client? You have some problems, let's say like this, you have some problems on your work. So how would you wrote an email to your client? What would you do?
I often have a problem with the my client, so I will write the email to send to the boss of my client to complain about what's happened and to make them give give us the suggestion or they will resolve it. So I will write down the mails to, and of course CC is my boss. I will write down dears meters or miss or dear sir, I have problem with blah blahs. I I
Yes.
hope you can understand that it's really hard to 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 do. It's really hard to cause or it's hard to resource. Can you deny these requirements or you can maybe you can pay more money for change requests.
Okay, and okay, very nice. And if you are, for example, if you have a problem which let's say if you have a problem with your equipment, with your computer, to who, where would you write an email? To whom would you write an email?
I will write to the help desk or maybe the human resources department to in the company, and I just write what's happened is with my laptop, and I uh, I think I will also write down what I need to fix it and how much money to do it.
Okay, very nice. No, that was really nice, really fantastic. Okay, and if you have a, okay, I'm just giving, for example, I'm giving you suggestions, and I want to see how would you write an email. For example, if you want to have a job offer, if you want to apply to some company, so what would you do if you want to apply to some company? How would you write an email if you want to apply to some company?
I think I just tell what I want and then I attach my CV on it, and I will persuade them I suitable with this job.
Okay, and why would you do something like this? Why?
Because I have to attach my CV to decrease my profiles and to tell them small details about myself, about me, and tell them more about what I accomplished and what about my experience, and then why I have to tell them I persuade them that I suitable with this job because I have believed myself before they believe me.
Okay, and what, let's say, what is something, okay, let's start like this. What is something that you can say about yourself in this email? How would you describe yourself in this email? What would you tell about yourself in this email?
I think is I will tell a bit about my personality and I tell about what I can do. Yeah, I think is the most important thing is I have to share my experience, tell them what I have experience with something. I have to more detail about that things.
Okay, so this is okay. Your experience in some fields, okay, and can you, about your personality? What do you think? What is the biggest strength and your biggest weakness when you're speaking about yourself? What is something that is your biggest strength, and what is something that is your biggest weakness? What do you think?
I think is the biggest on the strength. It is I always try my best and never give it up with the problem. And I can work overtime to complete the task was assigned. And I think I am a good person. I think they like it. They don't like the best person. But the the weakness by myself by me about me, I think is a nothing. Sorry.
Nothing. Okay.
I think is sometimes not feel confident.
Confident.
Yes, confident.
Okay. So now I want to ask you. Okay, so we spoke about your weakness. Okay, I forgot that I prepared one question for you and I forgot this question. Okay, about okay, in which company do you think is the best for your position right now? Did you ever think about foreign companies? For example, if they come to Vietnam, would you like to work for them?
Actually, I'm happy with the company right now, but if I can choose, I think is some trending companies, like Apple, something like that. Apple's, Amazon.
Okay, so for those companies. Very nice. Okay, so we will stop here. Okay, we spoke a lot about many different kind of topics. Now, can you please tell me, do you have any questions about today's lesson?
Today lessons, I think I don't have any questions.
And what do you think about this lesson? What is your opinion about this lesson?
That is a lot of questions from you, but I think is help me to talk more, right?
Yes, I'm asking you a lot of questions because I want you to talk.
And I think you can fix. If I wrong, you can fix it.
I fixed everything what I heard. I fixed everything. Colleagues and some words that I heard. I fixed it.
Yes, because I don't know that where or when I wrong.
No. I fixed everything. I fixed everything that I heard. I fixed everything. So don't worry about this. Everything was what you mentioned. Everything was fixed. When I heard something, I correct you. So don't worry about this. I will always correct you. So don't worry about this. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So see you on Friday.
No, Saturday, right?
Saturday. When do we have sessions? Saturday, Monday. Okay, yes, on Saturday. Yes, I forgot. Yes, on Saturday. See you on Saturday, and after that Monday, and after that Wednesday. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
I know it's late. I wish you a good night, and see you on Saturday at 8 p.m.
Yes. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.